Yo, 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 what up, what up, what up? What up, what up, what up? I am back. It is me, your big bro, James Foreman of the James Foreman Graffiti Podcast. And I am coming today excited. I am in a great mood. I have a birthday coming up soon. Very soon, actually, in the next couple of days. So I'm recording this before I head out on my trip. I'm going away for a couple of days. I'm going to keep that a secret about where I'm going because I'm going to let you all know when I get back. I'll tell you all the story. You all know I always have great stories to tell about when I go places and where I've traveled and where I'm going to be going. So I'm going to break all that down next video. So I got a few topics I want to touch on today. And the first one is your boy Derrick Jaxn. I know he's been in the news lately about all the shenanigans, about all the foolery, but you know what, man? I'm gonna come at this from a different perspective. Well, okay, let me start off by saying Derrick Jaxn is a monumental sucker, and that's because he's the type of dude who I'm not gonna really say much about the cheating part. It's just the fact that he's living a double life and he putting God all in it. And trust me, I know better than most. I grew up in a very religious household, a very religious town, and I saw a lot of craziness growing up. But one thing I know, and I want everybody to listen up, especially the youngins. When you're dealing with people who use religion as a shield for the things they do and the people they hurt, and they don't want to take accountability for what they do, and every time they make a mistake, they want to jump back on the religious train and say how God ain't done with them and how with his help they can always be better people. You might want to distance yourself from those people because in my experience, they always are the biggest. They're the biggest manipulators. They always try to finagle out of every situation. They never want to take accountability. They always want to throw it on you or say that you're not spiritual enough or you're not religious enough. And I've experienced all of that. So I'm going to just start by saying be careful. But when it comes to your boy Derrick and his recent antics, I don't really care about his content. I don't watch his videos. I watched a couple of them when he first started getting notoriety because I wanted to see what everybody was talking about. And I noticed how he never made the woman accountable on anything they do. It was always the man's fault. And I knew then this is not somebody I need to be dealing with. I don't want to hear his voice talking about how it no matter what, it's always the men. He's always on us. So I knew then that he was an F-boy. But sometimes it takes the rest of the world a little bit longer to catch up. Men caught on real quick because we know sucker shit when we see it. But I'm glad the ladies might be starting to come around and realize that he is not the guy to be taking relationship advice from. But anywho, on to something different. I'm gonna go into a story real quick. And for all my youngins that know me, they like, here he go, telling his story, talking about the good old days. I ain't that old, bro. I've done a lot and experienced a lot, but I'm not an old man. I'm not old man River out here trying to tell you all how to live life. But okay, but what I will say is I got a couple stories. First story. Back when I was in Jonesboro, when I lived in Jonesboro, I didn't have a car at the time, but I did have a job. And I was in my early 20s. Why I was in my early 20s without a vehicle, without a car, I don't know. I guess I had just got around without it for so long that I had got used to it. But, okay, let me say I was in my early 20s, no car. So I finally started to look for a car. And I bought an old school from my homeboy E-Rock. Shout out to E-Boogie. I know he's somewhere getting some money. I know how he do. But, yeah, I bought an old school from him. An old school 1983 Cutlass Supreme. Man, fresh old school. That was my baby. That was my first car. Honestly, I bought that car and I didn't even know how to drive yet. That's how much I was ready for a car. I didn't even know how to. Dang, I was tripping. I was in my early 20s, barely knew how to drive, didn't have a license, none of that. So I bought the car first and got my license later. So anyway, I bought the car, this old school, and when I finally got my license and I finally got everything legit, registration and all that, I was single back then. Well, I'm single now, but at the time I'm talking about, I was single as well. So I was single. I was moving around. I had, I had some money. For some reason, I was just cheap and didn't want to get a car. But I knew a lot of females. I was doing my thing. But something weird happened the very same day I put the tags on my car. The car had been sitting in front of my apartment for months. But after I finally got my license and put my tags on it, by the time I cranked it up and drove around, for a little bit, got the feel of it, I noticed something funny happened and started happening. The women in my life that I could always count on, when I was always, there were more easier to get along with, I started getting a lot of weird text messages about money. And I was like, why all of a sudden I'm starting to get a lot of, can I borrow 20? Can I borrow 40? My light bill due, my phone bill due. And I was like, what is it different from now and the next couple of days to where all of a sudden all I started hearing was money conversation. And my homeboy, he was like, bruh, well, my homeboy at the time, I don't really fool with dude no more. But he was like, man, the more you accumulate, for some reason, man, women just are attracted to men who are doing something positive. And the more you're elevating, the more they ask for. But when you're at a lower level, they don't ask for much because they feel like they're supposed to be doing for you. But the minute you show any type of growth, it kind of flips to where they look at you like you're supposed to be doing for them. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. But at the same time, I ain't have money like that. I was in this old busted Cutlass. It wasn't busted. It wasn't. I mean, wasn't no rims on it. It wasn't tricked out or none of that craziness. It was just a regular old school, and I was just doing my, doing my thing as still as a youngin'. And to be getting, this back when I was dealing with older women a lot. So to be getting messages from women in their 30s talking about, let me borrow this, let me borrow that. It was weird to me because I was just like, it was all good just a week ago. You know what I'm saying? Before I had shown any type of ambition about wanting to do really better for myself, I could get whatever I want. But it got strange when I started doing for myself. And I taught that to Derrick Jaxn because we got to understand, when a man is out here successful, he's getting money, I'm not going to excuse the cheating because he went out and he's talked about other men who were cheating and how they don't deserve no sympathy, sucker shit. But he also was like, I'm better than them and I've improved and I've changed. But the whole time he was doing it. But I will say that we got to give him a little bit of slack because we all know, men and women, for all the ladies that's listening right now, we all know that when a man is successful and he starts to come up, you all really, really, really do come at them stronger. And a lot of time it's about money. Is he getting condos for women and taking them on trips like I heard he was? He probably was because he out here getting money. So I can't really just say he's wrong, but we got to put something on the women as well because, man, they knew he was married. They knew that he was, on Front Street with all these books and on his YouTube and all that talking about not cheating. But they did it anyway. So we got to understand that men who have means have a lot more accessibility and they get came at stronger. Now, my situation on a very, very, very much lower level with my old school Cutlass, I wasn't moving like that, but that was my first introduction to the whole, wow, money thirst is real. You know what I'm saying? They all knew I had a factory job and I was making decent money. But this was my first glimpse of it. And my second glimpse of it came when I got me a Lincoln Town car. I put 24s on it. That's when it all got crazy. I'm talking about it got way crazy for me then, because in a small town like that, for some reason they thought I had bread because of these rims, not knowing I spent my taxes on it, just a stunt. Like I said, I was young and stupid. But yeah, that ties into that. We gotta all be more conscious of, man, everybody make mistakes, but we gotta put blame on both sides. And my second story about this is, men need to stop fronting like every man has the same level of options. It's easy for men to jump on Derrick Jaxn about cheating, but they got to understand that he's a man of a higher success level than a lot of other men. And my example is, I was in the barbershop. Shout out to my boy JT. JT, the popular barber, that's my guy. I was in his barbershop when I first moved to Little Rock. And I was listening to these dudes. They're talking about, oh man, real men ain't out here tricking. They not out here trying to really do this and do that. Real men don't. Just talking a whole bunch of hoopla about what they do and don't do with chicks. And I'm like, okay. One guy was in there talking about how a man would never mess around with a girl that his homeboy had messed around with years ago because he real. And I'm like, okay. And I said something that made a couple of these dudes a little bit upset. I was like, hey, a man only gets as much as he gives off with his charisma. So if y'all ain't never had, sad to say, but if you ain't never had dudes that you cool with, old ladies try to holler at you and try to like get at you either after they broke up or while they together, or you never had somebody your boy used to talk to back in the day come at you one night in the club when everybody chilling and you fresh or whatever, if that's never happened to you, it's probably because you just don't give women those types of vibes. And when I say them dudes got upset, they was like, oh, I got swag, I got this, I got that. And I was like, bro, it's easy to say what you wouldn't do when it's not happening to you. But as somebody who's made mistakes, who has, I've dealt with women that some of my guys had dealt with back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Looking back on it, I kind of regret it because every man don't handle that the same way. Some men flip out. Some men take offense to it. Me personally, I feel like the past is the past. Hey man, if you and her happy together, do your thing. But it was never on that type of level of relationship. It's just, when you young, you do stuff and you date people. But I was never on Front Street with it. It was just something that happened. I'm weak. The flesh is weak, y'all. The flesh is weak. If a woman that's very attractive come at you and your boy, y'all might be close, but hey man, go back, tell him apologize for it, and y'all keep it moving. But anyway, a lot of men are coming at Derrick because of what he's doing, but they got to understand, bro, he is getting that type of attention from women. Women really do like this dude. So for y'all to sit here and talk about how he lame and he fake and he this and he should never have, I'm like, bro, until you've been there, until you've been in those situations, you just can't say what you can and won't do as a man, because we all make mistakes and we all fall short. So I'm going to give bro some slack on that. I'm just going to say, in the future, Derrick Jaxn, you legendary F-boy and you monumental sucker, move different. Stop trying to be Mr. Right. Be oh my God, he just chill out, bro. Start speaking to men a little bit more. I ain't listening to you. I'm not trying to hear nothing you got to say. But as far as in the future, if you make it out of this straight, move different and stop playing with God, bro. Because that whole God know my heart, woe is the way and woe is me, man, nobody trying to hear that shit, bro. Just be a better man for your wife and your kids and move different. And I'm gonna get off of him. cause he lame. All right, the next topic I want to talk about is the recent Jay-Z selling Tidal, Swiss Beats and Timberland selling Versuz, and it's kind of weird to me. I love Hov. Hov is everybody's. He basically every black man's life goals. You know what I'm saying? The success level that he came to be at right now from where he started is just, it's unbelievable. It's incredible. But I have to say, I don't like how he does this whole black people, if you black, support this, and then he'll go back and sell it. You know what I'm saying? In his situation, I'm like, stop hooking us in with all this black excellence and then you sell it to white people. Maybe I don't know the ins and out of it. I don't know all the intricate details of Jay-Z's business, but it's a bad look when you always tell us to leave something alone until you get an executive seat or you get some type of position of power or you get a whole bunch of money off of it. For example, his NFL deal, same thing. I'm not. Hov moving a little iffy right now. He moving like an old black cat, like somebody who just trying to stuff their pockets before the game eventually just, it's over. But I don't know, man. Comment below. Tell me what y'all think about that situation, because that's a weird one for me, because I don't really like for you to pull the black community in to support you and then you shoot us down and you sell it off to white people, and then you dip out. And then what's gonna be his next venture? He gonna be like, oh, I got the cell phone. I got the whole cell phone. All black people buy this, and then when he get it, he gonna sell it. You know what I'm saying? That's just an example, but I need to know more information on that. So if you got more info on that, comment below. I'm always up for more info and to learn. But about Timberland and Swiss Beats, I can see why they sold it, because Versuz is not going to be what it was, because COVID is not always going to be what it was. The vaccine is out. People are moving and grooving more. People are out and about. Texas is wide open. A lot of places are wide open. So, it's not going to be like people sitting at home watching the Versuz on a Thursday night forever. So I get it. So I'm going to give them a little bit of slack. Plus, everybody who signed up with him, with them, all the artists who was on Versuz before they sold it get a piece of the pie, and they get like a little bit of an ownership deal in Versuz. So that's dope. So I'm not mad about that, because that's something that's not going to be going away. That it is going away, because quarantine ain't going to be forever. They're going to figure it out. They got to get this money. But the Jay-Z situation is different, because streaming is always going to be around. So for him to get rid of the Tidal like that, I'm not really feeling that. I'm a Tidal subscriber. I have been since he started it. I've never had Apple Music or Spotify or nothing like that. I've always been rocking with Hov. So, hey, it is what it is. Hopefully I can gain some more information on it, and what I'm thinking it is may not be it. I would love to be wrong on that. But yeah, shout out to Hov and Swiss Beats and Timberland for getting that money. Just, hey, give some of it back to the community. I'm sure they will. Proud of those brothers. But let's always keep one eye open for the bait and switch. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we got to watch each other and hold each other accountable for what we do. So, but yeah, man. But the last thing I want to talk about, like I mentioned in the beginning, I have a birthday coming up. Your big bro is getting older. Another year has passed. And the place I was last year and the place I am now in my life, my mentality is totally different. I'm telling you, I was in a weird space last year, because I was just looking for a better out, like new knowledge, new adventures. And I took all these trips, and I started going places by myself, and I started spending real time with my daughter. I started spending real time with my parents and real time with my brothers, and it's just a freshness that's over me now. I'm excited. My 5-year plan is dope. I got a lot of stuff coming. I have a lot of achievements that I want to grab, a lot of things I want to do. And I just want to say, man, okay, for all the youngins out there, The years matter. Where I'm at right now, I could have been at 10 years ago, but I was very unfocused. I had spent a lot of my time drinking, spending my weekly checks on polo and buying liquor and going to clubs and stuff like that. I never did anything really, but it was just a cloudy time of my life. So I want to say, man, hey, go out here and do something. Whether you go to college, my college experience was a little bit weird. I went for a year, I quit, came back, went for a year, I quit. Took me like 6 years to get my degree because I just kept, I just wasn't focused like that. I was always smart, but I didn't really get serious about college until my last year and a half, 2 years, when I realized that I really do love English. I love writing and stuff like that. I like teaching. I like being an educator, and all that really did help me to transition into a better person. Because my first few years of college, it was all like chicks and hanging out and going to college parties and barely maintaining a C average. I wasn't a good student. I didn't really care. I was just there because I didn't want to be back home. So if you like college, if you know what you want to do, I would say go. If you don't, hey, F that. Take time off, take a year or two off, go travel, go live with a relative somewhere on the East Coast or the West Coast, see the world a little bit. Figure out what you want to do. But don't take too long. 2 or 3 years max. You know what I'm saying? Don't be in your 30s saying you ready to start life now, because that's just it can be good. Nothing wrong with being a late bloomer, but at the same time, man, y'all gotta understand, time ain't waiting. I swear it's not. So many people have passed away in my life, and I'm in my 30s, and I still consider myself a young dude. Like a lot of the youngins, they really do, kind of gravitate towards me because I'm older than them, but I have a younger kind of groove. I can dress young, or I can, dress a little bit older and a little bit more mature, but I always know about the fashion and the music, so they always come at me with questions about life and what I think. And, I love that. I love being able to reach a decade back and be able to touch somebody's life or help somebody make a decision. I feel like that is one of my gifts, to be able to do that. And I appreciate the ability, because I do believe it's God-given. But, yeah, man, hey, make friends. Try to pay attention to detail in your life. Don't have a whole bunch of kids, both men and women. Ladies, don't be popping babies, and discipline yourself. That's the word. Discipline yourself in life, man, because just being willy-nilly, having a whole bunch of kids and not being structured in life, it will mess you up, like, mentally. You really can develop a strange mentality of just floating through life. I meet a lot of dudes my age who still floating through life. I meet a lot of women who just floating through life. Just, it's all about the next Miami trip, or set goals. Start, man, just love yourself. You know what I'm saying? And just try to maintain a healthy balance of, like Charlemagne the God say, a healthy balance of righteousness and ratchetness. I got both in me. So, well, y'all know that. Anyway, those who know me. But, yeah, man. My birthday is in a couple of days. I'm excited about a chance to really sit down and just structure the next 4 or 5 years of my life. I'm excited to go on a little bit of trip. I'm gonna go to somebody's beach. I'm gonna tell y'all when I get back, because I don't want nobody pulling up on me. Nah, I'm fronting. I ain't famous like that. But yeah, man. That's pretty much all I got for you all today. I'm happy you all tuned in. Your big bro is ready to go out here and conquer the world. I will see you all in the next week or two with another episode, with any other craziness that's going on in the culture, any other new events. But say a prayer for me, wish me a happy birthday. And yo, thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all be cool. Peace.